While the Vatican is widely available to visitors and serves as a mostly public totem of the Catholic religion, there are also many interesting and surprising mysteries to uncover about this specific institution. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at mysteries about the Pope and the Vatican. Pope's exorcist says the devil is in the Vatican. As the head exorcist for the Vatican, this man has seen some things. His study holds photos of the Virgin Mary, copies of the Bible, and a bed with restraining ropes for his practice. Amorth stated that the devil is not everywhere, but when he is present, it is painful. The devil is pure spirit, invincible. He is shown with the painful blasphemies coming from the person which he possesses. He can stay hidden. He can speak different languages. He can transform himself. Amorth has seen many exorcisms and many cases that led him to believe the devil is alive and well, and that he is in the Vatican. He claims that the devil tries to attack within Vatican City, and he has tried with the 1981 attack of Ali Aqsa. Additionally, the Christmas attack with the crazy woman who tried to harm Benedict XVI. The smoke of Satan looms over the Vatican, especially with the recent events with the church scandal of some horrific claims. When Amorth was interviewed, he was asked, "You've said publicly that you believe, referring to the current church scandals, that Satan is in the Vatican. Do you still believe this?" He replied with a simple yes and went on to say that he believes that Satan rules the world and that Satan is in the Vatican. The Vatican Bank Scandals. Next, we will look at the scandals with the connections to the mafia that the Vatican has been connected to. Many years ago, the Vatican financed its operation with donations and indulgences. Early on, the Vatican made little effort to keep track of finances, which meant the institution was rampant with extravagant and unnecessary spending and embezzlement. After being on the edge of financial ruin more than once, the Vatican decided it was time to appoint Bernardino Nogara as its financial advisor in 1929, who straightened out the church's finances and grew a $92 million investment from Mussolini into almost $1 billion. World War II also played a huge role in the creation of the Vatican Bank, as well as the unique power it held. As the Allies imposed restrictions on bank accounts, it became harder to move money around. Nogara created the bank, called the Institute for Religious Works, in 1942 to avoid having financial transactions tracked through Western banks. Because it resided in Vatican City, it was exempt from all wartime restrictions and became the world's best offshore bank. The mission to hoard money through the church turned into something shadier than they could ever have imagined. A German officer admitted to having many wartime spies in the Vatican. One of these spies was rumored to be the financial advisor Nogara, and during the war, he began investing in Italian insurance companies. These companies made money by keeping financial assets from life insurance policies of deceased Jewish policyholders and refused to pay out for those still living. The Vatican was never a direct insurer, so it was not required to pay restitution after the war. During the war, many financial records were lost and destroyed, and the Vatican itself refused access to its record. The full scope of this scheme remains widely unclear. At the time, the Pope refused to publicly denounce anything that Germany was operating, even though the Vatican was well informed of what was going on before allies even knew. This led to a systemic best management of funds into a long-term link to the mafia. In 1973, the US Justice Department began looking into the role that the Vatican Bank played in a counterfeit and stolen securities operation led by the mafia. New York gangsters were planning to sell fake corporate bonds and stock certificates to the Vatican. This would have been an almost $1 billion payment. An individual Vatican cardinal was going to use the faked securities as collateral in order to obtain financing. The fake bonds would have gone completely undetected unless the Vatican Bank lost money on its investments and couldn't pay back on loans, and even then, the Vatican could claim ignorance of an outside scam. The Vatican has also been accused of laundering money for the mafia and other Italian entities. Because its unique sovereignty, the Bank of the Vatican has the ability to withhold account information from authorities. This secrecy has provided a great cover throughout history. The thing about the Vatican is that you cannot truly investigate any funds that enter or leave the bank. In 2012, 4 priests came under investigation for operating bank accounts for the mafia. While the Vatican is a beautiful place, there is much to uncover about its deeper-rooted history. From exorcisms to mafia laundering, there is much more than meets the eye. Information on extraterrestrials. Evidence of extraterrestrial life and aliens is not something you might expect to get from any major religious organization, let alone the Vatican. The Vatican has spent hundreds of years looking up to the heavens in prayer. So with the centuries that have passed, have Vatican scientists come across something more, and could they be hiding it in the Vatican's secret archives? New evidence may prove that the Vatican not only has evidence of aliens, but might even be hiding these otherworldly beings from the public. The priest who directs the Vatican Observatory, Dr. Jose Funes, said in an interview that the universe is so huge that it would be possible that life could evolve the way we know it on Earth. It might not seem an odd statement, but this was the first time Vatican officials had ever publicly acknowledged the likelihood of alien life. Not only that, but this is a dramatic reversal of Vatican policy that previously stated aliens did not exist. Something significant must have occurred for the Vatican to reverse a 2,000-year-old teaching, or else a discovery unearthed or encountered that made releasing this statement urgent and necessary. Previous claims have noted that the Vatican might have empirical evidence of intelligent life beyond our planet. After all, the Vatican has a well-funded but private scientific academy, the Pontificia Accademia delle Scienze, or rather the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, well dedicated to astronomy and the heavens above. Further, it was affirmed that in 1998, skulls with elongated heads and small faces that were not of human origin or any discernible species on this planet were found under the Vatican Library. This claim has been voraciously denied time and time again. Transcripts from the trial of the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar are legend, with this secret organization of monks and knights achieving almost mythical status despite their very real achievements. What is not as well known, however, is the huge fall from grace these ancient heroes suffered from a royal trial rather than a bloody battle being their downfall. However, a medievalist at the Vatican Secret Archives stumbled upon a compilation of intriguing documents dating from 1307 to 1312 on the French trial of the Knights Templar and the Vatican's response. The Knights Templar's roots go back to the early 12th century, where a French nobleman and his companions dedicated themselves to the protection of Christians on pilgrimage to Jerusalem. In this noble pursuit, these so-called knights adopted vows of obedience, poverty, and chastity, but in the defense of Christ's followers permitted themselves war. Merging both the actions of the clergy with the actions of the soldier had never been done before, and so the legend of the monk knight was born. Whilst their quest was not a cheap one and always required a vast sum of expense, the Templars' main problem with the amount of money they had coming in was a tremendous amount of people also trusting them with their money, as if the knights were a 12th century bank deposit. With their extensive network and wealth of riches, they soon began to attract the wrong kind of attention, and in 1307, King Philip IV of France had the Knights Templar arrested and brought to trial. For 7 years, the knights would be tortured, humiliated, and lacerated until they made their forced confessions amid desperate physical pain. The Templars were found guilty of treason against Christianity. The order was dissolved, its remaining members seized, and wealth and property confiscated. In the end, the Templars' enigmatic leader, Jacques de Molay, was burned at the stake. And whilst the accusations began in France, rulers all over Europe followed suit and completely surpassed the order. Today, however, the Knights' tainted history is under investigation, since the document found in the Vatican's secret archives might clear their name and allegations of heresy. Experts believe the Knights Templar will be partly rehabilitated by these documents. It seems like Pope Clement V absolved the Templars of heresy, which had been the backbone of the case against them. Indeed, whilst the Pope was convinced the Templars had committed some grave sins, they were not heretics. They were also said to have practiced sodomy, a true sin at that time. It has not been proven either way, but even if true, this was merely a minor sin rather than anything truly heretical. Documents like these will go some way to adding more life to the legends of the Knights Templar. However, it's still difficult today to get access to the full catalogue of the Vatican archives. Naturally, you come to wonder just how many documents have been censored by the Catholic Church, or misplaced, in this sea of ancient papers, and if they have been censored, why? The Vatican's secret religious artifacts. Aliens might be a bit far-fetched when we speculate about the secret artifacts held in the Vatican. Given that the actual archives are so difficult to get access to, it's normal that theories as to what is hiding in there will arise. There is thought to be proof of Jesus' existence in the archives, held away from the majority of scholars or historians wanting to visit. The evidence is extremely secretive, but also consists of some fascinating relics. Before we talk about the proof of Jesus, however, there are a few other artifacts that are supposedly held in the Vatican archives which are mind-blowing. In the 1950s, the Vatican strangely began funding a project being worked on by the world's leading scientists. The device they were making is thought to currently be the property of the Vatican, but what exactly is it? Well, it's thought to be a pair of glasses, but not just any pair of glasses. These glasses allegedly allow the wearer to see into the past. The invention of this sort of device essentially throws what we believe are the limits of science and technology into complete disrepute. And because of this, you have to wonder why the Vatican is so keen on hiding the contraption. Could there be something that they don't want people to see through the glasses? Another of the projects thought to be in the archives is the third secret of Fatima. Fatima is a town and Catholic pilgrimage site, and during the times of Jesus, the children of the town reportedly saw visions of the Virgin Mary predicting 3 world events, including the First and Second World Wars. However, the third secret spoke of a huge persecution of Christians in the 20th century. Naturally, this persecution never occurred, leaving many to wonder whether this third secret was simply a fabrication and the Virgin Mary actually predicted something else that is yet to occur. Perhaps the most interesting artifact thought to be hidden in the Vatican archives is rumoured to be the cross that Jesus Christ passed away on. Most people think that the cross that Jesus was crucified on was broken up into parts and over the years passed through religious institution. However, it is not known where any of the true parts of the cross are today, and this is where the Vatican steps in. As one of the holiest places in the world, many think that the cross is stored in or below the Vatican archives. As we've already spoken about, the catacombs and necropolis underneath the Vatican are expansive, and there are many parts of the foundations that haven't yet been searched. Perhaps the Catholic Church wants to keep it that way. The Vatican and its archives give all people, religious or not, a glimpse into the history of Christianity. It's an incredible place, both in architecture and symbolism, and is an important place to study, appreciate, and respect. Yet, whether it's as beautiful behind the scenes as it is on the surface, for some, is up for debate. But what do you make of these secrets that the Vatican holds? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.